Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Newark Museum's Community Day. This is our Cherry Blossom Festival, sponsored by the Horizon Foundation of New Jersey. I am Shirley Thomas, the Senior Director of Education, and we are so excited to be with you on today. It is about to go down, the Sugar Showdown, a dessert decorating challenge. And by looking at the faces of our competitors, this is going to be like a Tyson, Holyfield, Ali is going down on today. Please let us know in the chat below or in the comment section on Facebook where you're coming from. Let us know who's present with us. And please, if you have any questions, please drop those questions into the chat or into the comment section. Today, I have with us Jennifer Armstrong, who is the Newark Museum of Art's current chef in residence. You might have seen her face on our Art Bites. She's going to be moderating the events of today. She's a pastry chef in her own right. Jennifer, who do we have with us on today?
Well, our contestants today, hi everyone. Our fabulous contestants today are Joanne Jones from Miss Jo's Classique Treats.
Hello.
Hello. And we have Mona Williams from MmmTreats. Hi, Mona.
Hi, hello everyone.
So I want to ask you a couple of questions before we get started. Let's see. Let me start with you, Joanne. Let me tell you a few things we want to ask you. We want to know a little bit about your business. What is your specialty and how long have you been baking? So tell us about your business.
Okay, well, I started just baking just as a, just something to do about 6 years ago. And I was at work, we were having an event and somebody said, Miss Jo, don't you bake? I said, yeah. They said, well, why don't you make us a cake? So I made a cake and I've been baking ever since. And now it's become a business. I plan on retiring within the next year. So this is gonna take over. Miss Jo's will be taking over.
Awesome. That's amazing. Yeah, it's funny how you get asked to make one cake and you do a good job and then, yeah, they've put you to work all of a sudden,
Yeah,
you can't get away from
it. It started with family, for the holidays, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then, friends and family and co-workers, so that's how Miss Jo's Classiques came about.
That's awesome. And so your specialty must be cake related then, right? What would you consider your specialty?
Well, my specialties are my little mini cakes. Everybody loves those. I do different decorations, different flavors. So that's my specialty now. Before it was just rum cake or sakatumi cake. But now it's still the rum cake and still the sakatumi cake, but the little mini cakes are added to that specialty.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, those both sound amazing. I am a huge fan of rum cake. So I'm glad you're still.
When I make one, I'll send you a piece.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Please, now we're gonna get in the chat. Everybody's gonna be like, here's my address. All right. Well, thank you, Joanne. And let's see, Mona, we're gonna ask you the same question. So what can you tell us about your business? What's your specialty and how long have you been baking?
Hello everyone, I'm MmmTreats. Okay, so I started in 2016. Oh no, I actually started 2014. I was sitting at home and watching TV. I seen Carl's Bakery on TV, and then I said I can do that. I asked my sister, I'm like, hey, I can do that. She said, yeah, you could do that. And after that, I signed up for school, and the rest is history. And and a few years later, MmmTreats arose. My specialty in that, besides cake decorating in itself, my banana pudding, it is definitely a top hitter. That put the in MmmTreats, of course. Every time I have to make it. I can't make it all the time because the orders used to become overwhelming. So now it's to the point that, okay, I do it like probably a few times out the year, but then I still have people, but when are you going to go and sell again? When's it going to go sell again?
Right.
Yes.
It could just be Mona's banana pudding, right?
Yes.
But you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into just that. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. That is amazing. So your specialty, you would consider what, more like cakes, or the banana pudding is like?
I would say both, but mainly cakes, because the decorating part, the baking, I love baking, but the part I specialize in the most is the decorating, because I can do not whatever, but basically whatever a customer would like me to do, or wherever my mind takes me when it comes to the cake. I just zone out, and I just get into my work.
So do you like to do more piping or more modeling? Yeah.
No, I'm more of a piper. I love piping work. It took me a while to get there, so now that I got good at it, I'd rather focus on that. But I do fondant too. Don't get me wrong, but I prefer the pipe work.
Awesome. Thank you, Mona. And I should probably ask that same question of Joanne. Are you more of a piping person or a fondant person?
Well, to tell you the truth, this is my first time decorating. I just bake and frost. So this is really challenging me and pushing me forward.
Cool.
So I'm up for the challenge.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, you got to jump in, right? Both feet first. All right. Well, we don't want to wait too long. We want to launch round one. So round one is going to be kind of specialty driven. Our contestants are going to have about 10 minutes or so to decorate. And we're going to show a couple of images on our screen of the inspiration works. So on the left, we have a beautiful piece that is by an unrecorded artist, but it's called Watercolor Bird and Flowers. That one is so vibrant and gorgeous. And I think that's, Mona, is that your choice?
Yes.
Okay. And what made you choose this piece? What do you think about that?
The colors.
Yeah, the color is reflected in your logo.
Yes. The colors
Awesome.
definitely, I see it and I was like, that's it right away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's amazing to see. Normally you don't see that kind of contrast in watercolors, usually it's like a white background. So like having the black background and then those colors popping off of it's amazing. All right. And then the other piece is by Blanche Lizelle, and it's called The Blue Jug, which contains what looks like sunflowers. Is that right, Joe? This is yours, right?
Yes.
And so what inspires you about sunflowers, about this piece?
The sunflowers, because it's springtime, and it's such a bright color.
Yeah, I love that too. I love how these the works kind of speak to each other. Like the color in the sunflower, it's like this gradation of like yellows and orange, and it's the same with the yellow and orange one on the other side. That's super cool. I love how that works. Okay, well, we want to start to kind of jump into things. So if we can pull that screen down, and we are next we're going to check in occasionally with the contenders while they're working, but you can go ahead and start.
Okay.
That sound good to everyone?
All right.
All right.
I have a question for you.
Let's hear it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a question for you. I'm looking at the watercolor that's there. And when I look at that, it reminds me of cakes, but also the colors remind me of how sweet cakes can be. When you're decorating things, does the pigment determine how sweet something's going to be?
I mean, in reality, no, but it definitely, something about that, like, yeah, when you see a cake that's decorated and it has super bright colors on it, I expect it to be super duper sweet. And I mean, it is kind of true that, like, some frostings hold the color a little bit better, and like maybe a buttercream where it's got a lot of butter in it might have a little bit of a different tint. So it might not hold the electricity of some of that color the way one with a shortening base would. So, that's a possibility that it could be different in that way. Oh my gosh, I love seeing them putting these together. We're not going to bother you too much while you're doing this, but it's so fun to see what's happening. I think that, when I decorate cakes, by the way, usually this takes a much longer time. So Joanne and Mona are like very bold to do this in such a short window. I would like to do this behind closed doors and without people watching me and, have a lot more time. But fortunately, they agreed to join us for this, and it's amazing. So Shirley, tell me, when you have cake, do you like really sweet cakes, or do you like not so sweet cakes?
I prefer not so sweet cakes. I'm more of a savory. My taste buds respond more to savory than sweet.
So you're a chip person, not a cookie person? Right on. Have you ever had potato chip cookies? Have you ever had
potato chip cookies?
Potato chip cookies? Wow.
Yeah, there's a great cookie. I think it's by the people that run Milk Bar. Do this. They call them compost cookies, I think. And it has like all kinds of, Mona's like, I know what you're talking about. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. It's like, chocolate chips and potato chips and pretzels and just like everything that you can think of kind of to throw in there. And they're so good. Like the sweet and savory combo is super awesome. I bet that would be good in a cake too, like to have some chips like mixed in somewhere, or the piñata cakes where you open them and stuff falls out of the middle.
Yeah.
Like if you did potato chips in the middle of one, that would be insane. That'd be super cool.
Jennifer,
Okay, I'm gonna request that.
I've seen a couple of art out of this.
Yeah, we can rock an art bites on that. And Shirley definitely would have to sample that one though, because people that like savory stuff need that.
I would love that. And I see Miss Jo is doing chocolate. Is that a chocolate over there, Miss
Yes,
Jo?
that's devil's food. Yes, chocolate, double chocolate.
Yum.
Yeah. Now
And what kind of cake are you doing over there, Mona?
It's a cupcakes, regular roses I did the color wise in like a little flower pot.
Oh. And what flavor cupcakes are they?
Oh, I'm sorry, vanilla. Vanilla
okay.
and just regular vanilla.
And so you're spraying something on yours. What are you spraying?
It's a glitter. I actually fell in love with this. It's from Wilton. It's an edible glitter. You might see a little, but it's like my signature. Only when I'm doing like cakes like this, the shiny, it just brings it out more.
I love the little spray bottle. I've used some stuff like that before, but usually I've seen it in a jar and you just have to like kind of, blow a little bit with a straw or something. So that's so cool. I love it.
Thank you.
That's neat.
Wow, this is intense right now.
It is. This is very intense. Joanne's doing some beautiful piping. It looks very sunflowery right now. I love that dark center, with the petals coming out. That's fabulous. And that's very reminiscent of the artwork. It's very fun. Ooh, more color.
More color. Wow.
This is the stained glass that it has to go in.
Oh, cool. Very cool. This is awesome. So let's see, Mona, what is is it like a little terracotta flower pot that the cake is in?
Yes. So basically, with the bouquet flowers, it's normally a styrofoam ball, because you can do it with cake, but it's not going to hold the cupcakes that's on it to produce the flowers. So the styrofoam ball is what helps hold it and bring everything together. And I've done these in large scales, huge ones.
Oh my gosh, that's so the cupcakes are actually like mini cupcakes, right?
Yes, mini cupcakes that you could pull apart, and
awesome. And they're just impaled on the center.
Yes, to give it the effect.
Yeah, pastry chefs have to get creative when building structures. And now, I mean, I used to do wedding cakes, but now cakes have gotten super duper complicated and elaborate, and it's pretty amazing to see how things are structured. There's some construction that happens before you have to do it
You
sometimes.
basically need an engineering degree at this point to be
That's right. You really do. Yeah. 3D was never really my thing. So, I'm good at a flat cake. I always like painting. Have you ever done any work with like food coloring or with frosting for painting?
Besides with the piping bag, yes. But besides like painting it on, no, only if I did like a drip cake and I did like the pinks, the edible glitter to decorate that, yes. But besides using a piping bag and just going in and then using the spatula very carefully, not to smudge it. Exactly.
So Joanne, you look like you did some either painting or piping and smoothing when you did your stained glass.
I did glitter. It's glitter.
Oh,
Glitter gel.
Oh, cool.
Sparkle gel.
Awesome. We'll have to get really close up to both of these so we can see.
Okay. You want me to tilt it? No.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah,
Wow.
careful. We don't want them to fall. Oh, that looks awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love the shiny. And let's see, Mona, you do the same thing. Can you tilt it towards us a little bit so we can see?
Let me see. And let me. Can you see it this way?
I don't know. I'm getting. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
You can see that.
Okay. So
Awesome, ladies. These are fabulous. Round one is fantastic. This is awesome.
I have a question in the
yes.
Do you use toothpicks to keep the cakes on the styrofoam?
Yes.
It's like classic toothpicks.
Yes, just classic regular toothpicks. Yes.
Cool. Okay, that was an easy question. Let's fire a harder one at them. Well, I mean, it looks like you're both pretty much finished. So I think we should close round one. And we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to vote on round one, right, Shirley?
Absolutely. Who is it? Jo Classique or MmmTreats?
So a poll should pop up in a second. There you go. With round one voting. So you want to vote for your favorite. Let's see what you love the best. Getting lots of votes on both. Yeah. I love to see the bars moving and all the interesting thoughts on who likes what. So fun. So we also we might want to do a poll. Maybe we'll do this when we start the other one. We're going to ask our folks some questions. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Tammy. Both look great. They're amazing. And I love too how they're both very different. Like it's the same challenge, but they're both really different. Ooh, somebody has recipes for both popcorn and potato chip cookies.
Wow.
Wow. Patrice, we're gonna have to read more about that. That sounds neat. I like the popcorn thing. Popcorn has become like, I mean, I know it's always been kind of a cool thing. People would get like these tins of popcorn. But now, like gourmet popcorn is such a thing. It's
I heard about that.
Yeah, they're fabulous. So our voting is about complete, I think, for round one. And then we are going to hold off and tell you things a little bit later. And we will go on to talk about round two if everybody's comfortable with that. Are we ready for that?
Ready.
All right, because you have to like clear your space, right?
Yes.
We'll give you a second. We'll chit chat for a second while you kind of reset.
Okay.
All right. So our next piece, our inspiration piece for this one, this is kind of they both use the same inspiration piece. So I love this work of art, and I've heard this is a very popular piece in the collection. Is that true, Shirley?
It absolutely is. This is one of my favorite pieces from the museum. I love this piece. One, because you can look at it from a few different angles. I love the relationship between the hummingbird and the flower. They're both different species, but they both need each other in order to survive.
Right. Right, exactly. Oh my gosh, so true. And I don't know where this is supposed to be, but obviously it's somewhere tropical if it's an orchid growing in the wild. And I mean, maybe everybody knows, or maybe you don't, but the most common popular flavor in the world comes from a particular type of orchid. I don't know that it's this orchid, but vanilla bean. Vanilla comes from the orchid. It's actually, vanilla beans are the seeds from a pod of an orchid. So it's pretty cool to see a baking competition with all these sweet flavors, and then be able to feature an orchid as the artwork as well. I love that. This piece is so gorgeous. So Martin Johnson Heed and Cattleya Orchid with 2 hummingbirds is the title of this work. Is that usually on view at the museum?
Yes.
Museum?
Yes.
Awesome. So that's good. So when you open back up to everyone, hopefully they can go in and have a look at this before they head to either Miss Jo or Mona to get their fabulous sweets inspired maybe by an orchid. So if everyone is ready, are you ladies reset and ready to go?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and we will launch round 2. And round 2 is going to be cake. We have 15 minutes to decorate this. So this is a little bit more of a full size cake. And we do want to know from both of you as you get started, wanted to ask, is it possible to make some of the creations that you're making today, but make them vegan? Because a lot of people have, dietary restrictions these days. How would you go about making something vegan for people? I'll pitch that to Mona first. What could you do to make something vegan if you want to pick it in?
So basically, you would substitute the egg. So you could always use a substitute egg mixture or applesauce or ripe bananas for it. And for the milk, you can always do you can do an almond milk or something like an almond milk or some to your taste. It depends because it all different tastes, so it's going to be a while for you to get it. So, and as for the butter, you do a substitute butter. So you could do like they have so many I can't even think, Simply Balance and other so basically a substitute, but you also have to play around with it a little bit just to give it the right taste, the taste that you're looking for.
Yeah, I know a lot of people work really hard to try and figure out special recipes for those. I mean, it's its own genre, things that are vegan. And I mean, fortunately, you've got all kinds of different, nut milks and coconut and soy. So there are options like that now. And I mean, one thing that a lot of people use too is vegetable shortening. I mean, that's a vegetable based fat. So you could use something like that, and it's actually vegan. So that's good. What about you, Joanne? What do you use if you have to do something vegan? Or do you?
I would agree with Mona. The applesauce instead of the eggs. I believe you can also use a soy yogurt. And like she said, you would have to, tweak it to taste to make sure, that it tastes good.
Yeah, I would say practice. If you're making it for somebody, right?
Yeah. I always practice before I commit to selling.
Yeah.
I got to do a test run and let me see how it tastes to me. And then I'll let you know. But yeah.
My favorite, and you guys can start your baking engines and have at it. One thing that I love is if you do make a cake and it doesn't come out totally right, or it looks kind of funky, or it's just not quite right. As long as it tastes good, you can crumble it up and make cake pops out of it. That's what's so cool about cake pops.
That's a good idea.
I mean, all it is mushed up cake with some frosting in it rolled into balls. So
exactly.
That's a good, alternative for your maybe not as beautiful Chester cake with if you do that. Oh, I love this question from Emily or Emil. How fast do you think you can make a cake?
Ah,
Whoa, that's a good question.
Bake a cake or make a cake?
Yeah, that's a good question. So are we talking
Yes.
about bake or make? Because like decorate. So baking a cake, I mean, it depends on the size, obviously. I mean, if you're making a 14-inch round cake versus a 6-inch round cake, that's gonna vary a lot.
Yes.
And decorate. How quickly can you decorate? Again, depends on the size, but I mean, I think the pastry chefs here would agree with me. It depends on the size, and it probably depends on the technique because, Deshaun, we are going to share contact information at the end of the competition. So hang out for that. We'll definitely have that soon. Yeah, it depends on the technique, right? Because piping roses, if you're covering something with roses, I mean, that takes a while, I would think.
Yes, it takes a while.
Yeah, and
It
then
depends on the buttercream.
And
Yes.
sometimes, like a lot of times when you make a cake, professional bakers like these two probably, when you make a cake originally, you make a crumb coat, which kind of holds all the crumbs in. And then sometimes if you're trying to make something that's like super smooth, like a wedding cake or something like that, you have to like chill it a little bit, let it set, and then come back in with the final coat. So, sometimes there's just like timing in between that you have to take in order to do all those things. So, well, I'm going to stop talking. Let's do a poll. You want to do a poll, Shirley?
yes, let's do a poll.
Okay. So we've got a few. Let's see. How about we do for our viewers, what is your baking specialty? So if you guys don't mind putting up that poll, let's see. I think, hang on a second, that one will populate in a moment. Here we go. Is your baking specialty classic apple pie, raw cookie dough from the grocery store? Everybody loves raw cookie dough from the grocery store. I love that they make that specifically for you to eat raw now. Is it an elaborate 4-tiered masterpiece? I bet we have a few pros out there watching. Or is your kitchen torched from your last attempt at baking? My kitchen got almost torched from my last attempt at cooking, not baking, but if you watched last week's Art Bites, you got to hear my fire alarm go off, which was super fun. But that's what happens when we do it live, people. That's how it works, When you watch a cooking show on TV, that is not live. I mean, even if they make it look live, it's rarely live. So just remember that. We're getting some interesting polling results. Are you seeing these, Shirley?
Seeing these polling results.
Where did we land?
It looks like we're somewhere around classic apple pie.
I'm impressed by that. That's 48%. That's a lot of people that rock some apple pie. Good for them. Pies have never, I like making tarts, but pies are finicky. Like they're special. People that make pies are amazing. I'll do it, but none of the above. Debbie says she's not down with any of these. Now I want to know what Debbie's jam is. Come on, you got to tell us what your specialty is. None of the above I get, but what is it?
What is
So
your
hopefully we'll hear from her in a second.
We do have a couple of questions in the chat.
Oh, great.
What is the secret to a moist cupcake?
Hmm.
Anyone can answer.
Mona or Joanne?
I would say oil.
Yeah.
Substitute in the butter for oil.
It's true, right? Though.
Yes.
I mean, it really is a big difference. And that's
It
fine.
is a big
Nothing's wrong with oil. I love the taste of butter, but it's not as
Mhm.
it dries it out,
It
which
does.
is a bummer. You wouldn't think so, but
But it do.
true. Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting one. There was a comment. Let me see if I can find that. There's a comment that said, if the baking time's 10 minutes, take it out at 8.5. Yeah, as long as it's like springy and set, that's true. You definitely don't want to overbake stuff. That's a huge thing. When there's a time in a recipe, you should always check before that, the end of that time. Don't you agree, ladies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't rely on
full
somebody.
time.
Yeah, all ovens are
You
different.
always, you always have to check it ahead of time. to make
Totally,
sure.
totally. Ooh, somebody's their grandmother's sweet potato pie. That sounds fun. Sweet
Yeah.
potato pie. Mm. And I'm from North Carolina, so we have lots of sweet potatoes. Love that. Oh yeah, dark baking pans. There is a difference between baking pans, like dark pans versus like glass or like light aluminum pans. That does make a difference. These are great comments, everybody. Keep them coming. This is awesome. Okay, so somebody also said none of those would be their specialty, but sweet potato pie, another sweet potato pie, German chocolate cake, pound cake, coconut pineapple cake.
Yes.
Delish. Yum. Pound cake is a special thing too. If you can rock a good pound cake, that should be everybody's like go-to, like be able to make a pound cake, right?
And regular pound cake.
Yeah, just like a simple, delicious pound cake. Oh my gosh. You can use it for a lot of things. These are starting to look so amazing. I cannot wait to see the finished product here. I hope everybody is having fun watching this. Ooh, a very good baklava. That is a great thing to be able to make. Let's do another poll really quick while we're working on this. How about, let's do one about flowers, since we're talking about flowers. When would you most appreciate a bouquet of flowers? Can you put that one up, Stephen? We'd like to see
Any
that.
day.
Any day, every day, people.
Any day. I love flowers.
We always want flowers. Please don't hesitate to send us flowers anytime. I want to show you a couple of cool flowers. Oh, here are some good ones. When would you most appreciate them? On your birthday, happy birthday to me. As an apology, I don't know if that's going to do the trick. It can't hurt, but that might not take care of it. On your wedding day, that's a sweet time to be sending flowers, or just because. Just because is
just because it's always nice.
Yeah, I think that's the consensus between us. Since we're talking about flowers, I'm gonna show you this crazy flower. I have a friend who's a florist, and I visited him the other day, and my kids were with me, and so he usually gives us a few flowers to take home with us. And I love this one. I'll tell you in advance, my kids essentially treated this as both a staff and a sword, and they talked about it as being a Fortnite weapon. So check this out. Look at this flower. Can you believe that is a flower? I mean, that thing is crazy. It's called heliconia, also called lobster claw, I think. In the chat, if anybody has ever received this flower or seen it in an arrangement, let us know. I want to know what you think about that. I just think that's the coolest flower.
Back, and it looks like just because.
Just because, people.
Because.
We need to send that to all the partners of everybody and be like, it's clear. Just send us flowers anytime.
Just
Pick them
because.
out of the yard. Yep, just because. Oh, somebody got the flower in arrangement. That's fun. I would love to get that in arrangement. It'd have to be a pretty big arrangement, right? That'd be crazy. Tropical wildflower.
That would be the type of flower I can receive. I'm allergic to flowers.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So no. Is it are you allergic to all flowers?
If they're pollinating, yes. Yeah.
Wow. So like moss might be a good gift for you instead, or like a terrarium maybe?
Yes.
You still need a plant.
I still need a plant.
Air plants?
My favorite flower is the calla lily.
Oh,
I love calla lilies.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. But between that, and I have a question for our audience. I'm also allergic to chocolate. Is there anyone else?
That's the problem. Yeah.
That's allergic to chocolate or any type of food that you wish you could have. I wasn't always allergic to chocolate.
Oh, that you developed that allergy?
I developed that allergy. I was a chocoholic.
Oh my God.
And then it was taken away.
Oh, that's rough.
So I do know what it tastes like, but it's now on the cannot have list.
Deshawn says she hates chocolate, so if she were allergic, or he or she were allergic, then they would, not have to worry about that. It surprises me when people say that some people don't like chocolate at all. Although, I mean, obviously we all have different preferences, but I mean, I'm not crazy about white chocolate. Like I could kind of do without white chocolate.
White chocolate either. Once you have the real thing, it's kind of like,
Yeah. And
technically, white chocolate is not a chocolate. It's,
yeah, I mean, there's maybe cocoa butter in it, but beyond that, it's not. Doesn't really have the cacao.
It doesn't come from a cacao bean at all.
Right.
It's actually like more of a shortening type thing.
Yeah. So actually, it's not so bad. Maybe not be into that one. But I'll tell you, I mean, if I had to choose between like chocolate and vanilla, like I really do love vanilla. I mean, I'd probably be okay not having chocolate.
maybe that's why I'm not such a sweetie now, because it's
right. Yeah. More on the savory side. Oh wow, these are so interesting. One of our guests had an uncle that had a 200-acre cocoa farm and grew up seeing it grown and processed. That's so cool. Wow. Ooh, pies. Amazing into pies. Do either of you make pies, Mona or Joanne?
Yes, sweet potato.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Mona, do you like
No.
making a sweet potato pie, or are you not into pies?
I can do it, but it's just not my thing. We all stay in our lanes, and that's just me.
Yep. No, I'm with you. That's kind of how I am too. Like, I love to eat pies. I will consume them, but making them is like a different kind of situation.
No.
Yeah, I will eat a lot of key lime pie though. If you put key lime pie in front of me, like,
Oh, I like key lime.
gone. Oh.
Key lime cheesecake.
Ooh. Oh my God. If we're gonna get into a cheesecake discussion, that's like even just like basic, plain, like simple cheesecake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But it has to be good. I recently started loving Junior's cheesecake, which is phenomenal. And they don't use graham cracker crust, they use cake as their crust. And it blew me away.
Oh,
It blew me away.
Cool. And is that in Newark?
No, that's in New York. Junior's
okay.
cheesecake. Yes.
Hey,
Definitely.
I need to look that up. Okay.
Yes, Junior's
They ship?
cheesecake. Yeah, they do. Yes, they definitely do. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, excellent. Good to know. Yeah, goat cheese cheesecake is excellent. Those are great. Like with some fresh blueberries or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like tart, since goat cheese is tart. That sounds pretty good. I'm just reading, things in the chat here.
there's some questions in the Q&A. Someone asked, is the baking business difficult to navigate as a woman, and have you faced any sexism in the field?
I haven't, and it's not difficult for me. I haven't faced any difficulties.
What about you, Mona?
The most difficulty I face is the pricing, because a lot of people don't understand the work that comes into it. Like this, it took us no time because of prep, but making a cake from scratch all the way up to the decorating sometimes takes days, and it depends on the design that you want. And people just think it happens like that. So a lot of people, when you want to charge $300 for a wedding cake, for instance, they're like, "Oh, that's absurd." But I'm like, but the process it has to go through to get to the
everything has to be included. The ingredients, the time, the prep,
the price.
Exactly.
Yep. I feel you. Yep, definitely. And a lot of those things too. I mean, it's nice for people to know that their cake. I mean, when you think about it, it's your centerpiece.
Yes.
Like if it's your wedding cake, it's your centerpiece. If it's your birthday cake, it's your centerpiece. So it's really about experiencing this work of art that you can also consume, which is,
Exactly.
you know, that's
Yeah.
like double duty there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's a really good point. Oh, okay, we've got some more cheesecakes. Everybody's going like, yes, cheesecake is so amazing.
Yo, Tammy wants to know, are your flowers edible? And
Yes.
if so, how did you make them?
Yes. Gum paste.
Gum paste.
And,
All right.
and my butterflies are also edible.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh. And so gum paste, you can, I think you can probably buy gum paste that's like prepared, or you can make your own. Is that right?
Well, I bought it. I didn't try to make it.
Yeah, it definitely, you have to have some kind of
Maybe in my
ingredient.
downtime, I'll try to, you know,
Yes.
make it, but
Yeah,
this time I bought it and just made them. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it's fun to work with. It's kind of like modeling clay, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And gum
But it
paste
dries really fast.
It's okay. So gum paste dries a little bit faster than fondant, or is it the other way around?
No, it does dry faster than fondant, so you have to plan it out, and you have to know exactly what you're doing. You can't play around with it, because as soon as you start molding, it's going to start hardening right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
And you know, making flowers from gum paste is very classic art form. And it's really cool because don't you make, like a lot of times you make the petals individually and then essentially assemble a flower?
Yes, you have to make everything individual and then take your time making it. And then you need the wires also to keep it in place, because sometimes you have to tie the wires. So it is a process.
Yeah.
It's that making flowers is a 3-day process from the petals all the way to the finish. It's a process.
Yeah. So that's just like another reason why something might seem expensive, but I mean, you're having these like handmade little, you know, sculptures. Like, I mean, they are cakes are sculptures. Which is cool, you know, that we're inspired by art to make these cakes, but the cakes are the art.
Yes.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, let's see.
Mona, how did you get the icing to drip down the sides of the cake?
It's chocolate. So it's a chocolate, regular white chocolate, what we just talked about. Funny story, my microwave stopped working, so I had to go old school with a double boiler.
Wow.
So a double boiler is basically, it's a pot of boiling water, and then you use a metal pan. It's best to use a metal pan. Some people use glass. I like to use metal because it heat up faster. You put the chocolates on top and you just let that melt it takes literally a few seconds, so you have to watch it. And then once it gets the right, because you want to have a runny consistency, because as soon as you put it on a cold cake, that's when you just start going at it. So you have to move fast. If you move slow, then it'll start freezing.
Awesome. That's a great description of for double boilers, because I think sometimes when people get a recipe and they see that, they're like, I don't have that equipment. And you're like, yeah, you do. Like, it's a bowl
you do.
and a pot. But it really is important for chocolate in particular, because you don't want to scorch chocolate. You can't just like put it straight in the pot. And if your microwave is not cooperating, then double boiler is the way to go, right?
Exactly.
Perfect. So I think we're getting close. Are we getting close, Shirley?
Yeah, we are getting close.
Okay. How are we doing, ladies? Are you feeling like you're about ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and close this round. And oh my gosh, everything looks so beautiful. So let's get a couple of close-ups if we can. I mean, we kind of have close-ups, but tell us, let's see, Mona, why don't you tell us about your work first?
Okay, so I decided not to play off the orchids, even though it was obvious. I decided to play off the colors, and it reminded me of a rustic theme. So I went with a naked cake. It's a naked cake under it. Mm-hmm. So naked cake is basically the icing that's the cake showing in the icing, the layers. So you want to see the cake in a naked cake. So I decided, since the picture reminded me of a rustic theme, I decided to go with the rustic theme cake. Not too much, and then just added the purple flowers because compared to orchids, and I wanted to match the color more so to match the flowers. So I went with the regular roses, which is not edible. But yes, and then it was birds. So in both my pictures, I decided to pin it off with a little bird on top, just to to go with the theme of the picture.
So is that some like marbled kind of stuff on top? What's the kind of thing that's sticking up?
Okay, so this is bark. So basically it's just melted chocolate, and I just took some food coloring and I just did some swirls, put it in the freezer and broke it.
Cool. I love that. I love the swirl. So
And
did
I
you
have
just
so much more. Yes.
did you
I didn't know how I was going to do it. So I was like, let me just make a lot. So I just took it, I broke it, and that was it. Freeze it. And the thing is, it's so simple that people are like, oh my God, but literally you can do it at home. Take some chocolate and break it and you call it art. Art.
beautiful? I love that too because it's like it's abstract. And so
Yeah.
when you're doing more of like an art cake, it's cool when it's abstract.
Yes.
So that is gorgeous. And I
Thank you.
desperately want to have some. What's the cake flavor and the icing flavor?
The icing is a regular buttercream.
Okay.
I use a buttercream when I do rustic cakes because it holds better. And the inside is a strawberry and the pastry cream on the inside. Real fresh strawberries and pastry cream.
Yum. Oh my gosh. It's like
And a vanilla cake.
Cake and a cake. Yum, that sounds amazing. And this is like strawberry time of year upon us. Right?
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Mona. That
No
is so
problem.
fabulous. And we're getting to, yep, Deshaun says, can we get samples? Yes, we all want samples desperately. All right, now we're gonna move to Joanne. Joanne, tell us about your cake.
Okay, so I have a 3-layer strawberry cake. It's strawberry in the inside with strawberry frosting.
Mhm.
I have edible orchids, edible butterflies, and it's just a strawberry orchid cake.
Gorgeous. That is so fabulous. So is the filling like
It's
strawberry cream?
filling, strawberry icing in between.
Oh, okay. Between the layers.
Yes.
Yum.
3
Oh my
layers.
gosh, that's amazing. How long did it take you to make all the orchids?
About 3 days.
Yep. Mona had that. She nailed that. She's like, yeah, that takes
about 3 days.
Wow, that's a lot of work. That's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Wow. So really now we should open it up to some more voting. So let's vote on this round and see how things go. And let's see, that should pop up on your screen in just a minute. Thank you, ladies, so much for getting through that so quickly. It's amazing how much you can do in such a short amount of time. That's hard work. Decorating cakes. Decorating cakes it's very physical too. Like you're kind of like all over the place. And man, if you have a wedding cake or something big and you have to move it, that is like you have to have some upper body strength. Am I right?
Yeah.
You can't have little skinny arms and do pastries. You have to have some arm strength.
Yes, you do.
All right, so we've got this round of voting going. We're going to throw a couple more polls probably at everybody. We've got just a little bit more time, but I have a feeling that we might have kind of a split here total. So we might have to go to a third round. Are y'all prepared to do a third round?
Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Just a little bit more work, just a tiny bit more.
Just a little bit more.
That's right. It's like Joanne's people going like, you made that other cake, but how about you make me some more? Because now we know what y'all can do.
Yes.
Well, let's do. What do you think, Shirley? Should we do like a plating round?
Yeah, I think we're going to need that plating round. Everyone is saying in the chat, this is going to be a tough one. Can I vote for both of them?
Right.
Okay, let me make room.
All right. So we're gonna let's throw one more poll up there since we have some more questions for our audience. Let's see. Actually, we have a couple of questions that are just like some open-ended things. Let me ask this one in the chat. Tell us, what is a floral piece of artwork that made an impact on you? Like, do you remember going to see art either at the Newark Museum or at another museum, or just things that you've seen throughout your lifetime that you just loved, that has always made you think about just your love of flowers, if you love flowers and are not allergic You can be allergic and still love flowers, right, Shirley?
Absolutely. Spring is my favorite time of year. I love the cherry blossoms. I just have to
Oh, yeah.
my windows up. It still affects me, but it's worth it.
Yeah, totally, totally worth it. I love those cherry blossoms too. This year I had right outside is a little red bud tree, and we just planted it last year. I've always wanted one. And we just planted it, and the whole thing, literally from head to toe, like even down on the trunk of the tree, were like little blooms. It was so weird. So when it bloomed, it almost looked like a Dr. Seuss tree or something. It was just like covered head to toe in these like fuchsia blooms. It was so fun. Oh, I see that one of our people said that their whole block in the city decided to plant cherry blossoms. Oh, brilliant. Brings so much joy.
Yeah.
Really. So what about you, Shirley? What's a work of art that's floral, that's meaningful to you?
As we said in the beginning, the heat piece with the hummingbirds and the orchid is
Yes.
definitely one of my favorite pieces. And we have photographs of Branchbrook Park overhead, cherry blossom trees. I just love, if I can't make it to the park, I look at the pictures. But
Are we starting the plating round? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna rock the plating round. Yeah, I always loved Monet's water lilies. That's probably like a common answer because that's such a remarkable work of art, but just something about, I mean, water lilies aren't the sort of thing that you just come upon all the time. So, I mean, not only the, impressionist quality of that work, but just seeing water lilies is really kind of special. So I always love that one. Anybody else think of works that they love? Let me ask this, is there a Georgia O'Keeffe in the Newark collection?
Actually, we have a couple of Georgia O'Keeffe's that's up. I believe the one that's up, we have the petunias, the purple petunias.
Ooh, classic.
Yeah. And we also have, the name is escaping me right now. It'll come to me. The white flower.
Oh, is it a calla lily? Or is it something else?
Not the calla lily.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's escaping me right now.
Well, everybody will have to dig into the collection and find out what that is. It's a mystery, an art mystery for you to go solve at the Newark Museum of Art. Well, while they're plating, we've got like just another minute or so. Let's do one last quick poll. When you have the opportunity to get a slice of cake, do you ... Let's see if we can get that one put up on the screen and see what you think. I pretty much jump on that right away. The whole office birthday party or something like that. Even as a cake baker, I think people think that a pastry chef may have had enough cake, but we like to eat cake too. Isn't that right, Mona and Joanne?
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe I'm wrong.
For my birthday, I don't want cake.
Oh, you don't want cake? Was that Mona that said that?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you like to have for your birthday?
I prefer cheesecake or like edible arrangements. Something but cake.
Oh, cool.
Be creative. A pie, I don't know, but not cake.
You know what I like now for my birthday? I used to get the same like cake every year, and now I really like tres leche cake because it's cake, but it's also like it's a little bit different. It's, really kind of I don't know, it's super decadent. So I kind of changed that up not too long ago.
I can eat.
What's that? Something you can eat?
Yeah.
No chocolate. Maybe with a potato chip on it. Let's see. So the options on this, when you have an opportunity to get a slice of cake, do you request the corner because frosting is your jam? You wait for the rose because you're a special flower yourself. You take whatever piece is next because give me cake. or you pass it on and eat a sad bag of mini carrots. I cannot believe somebody actually eats the mini carrots. We actually have some people that answered that way, but oh, no cake for y'all, huh? That's a bummer. But you know what? Mini carrots are good. There is carrot cake. And there's always carrot cake. Maybe that'll come to pass. It looks like most of the people want either the corner piece, which is fun, or they'll just take whatever because they don't want to miss out. All right, that was a good one. All right, I think we're getting close to the end. How about like 30 seconds left for you two? Will that work?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna rock 30 more seconds and then we're gonna see the finished product here. It's looking really pretty. And I love these cool plates that you're doing. That's one of my favorite things is plating. I always, I worked in more of a restaurant setting than a bakery setting. So I did a lot of plating myself. And I love having all the different little components to put together and make a kind of your own composition, which is a lot like making art. You know, you've got this canvas, your plate, and you can kind of like put things together. So we have a question. What is in Miss Jo's tube? What are you piping on the plate?
What's the question?
Oh, Joanne, it was what are you piping on the plate? What's in the tube? I guess the kind of red that you're making kind of zigzags with.
What am I piping? This?
Yes.
This is my sparkle glaze gel.
Oh,
The same
okay.
stuff I used on the stained glass for the sunflower.
The original cake. Gotcha.
Yes.
Cool. All right, I think that's time, everybody. Mona and Joanne, are you ready?
Yes. I would take mine off the stand, actually.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Mona, you want to show us yours first?
Yes. So I stuck with the first design
Yeah.
and I just added more flowers with the colors of the photo from the beginning. And of course, my signature with the birds.
Uh-huh. And do you make the birds?
No, the birds was actually brought also.
Okay. And I think earlier someone asked, what tip do you use to do the flowers? I wanted to make sure of that.
Well, it depends on the flower. If I'm doing a rose, a regular rose, when I pipe it out, I use a rose tip. If not, I use an M1. One of these right here. This is an M1.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. This is the M1 right here. It's an open, and then you have a closed flower tip right here.
Cool. And is it kind of like a star tip, but with a
yes, it's a star tip.
Cool.
But the closed and the M1 is an open, but it's more steep. So when it gives you that more rose effect. This is a quick version of doing a rose compared to sitting down with the nail and going around, because that takes a minute. Especially if you want to do a lot, you need a good like 30 minutes.
Yeah. In case folks don't know, like when you make roses, there are a couple ways to make it, pretty much what you just described. So you can either use a tip by itself, or you can start on what's called a rose nail, and it looks like it is a nail with like a little flat surface on top, and you pipe each petal around the center. That's how a lot of roses are made too. So that is beautiful. Thank you. And you sparkle. You actually are like sparkly now, which is fun. You can't help but glitter. Thank you, Mona. All right.
Thank you.
Now, Joanne, show us yours and tell us what you did.
Okay, so since our theme is cherry blossom, I did a Devil Foods mini cake, and I did cherry in the middle. I sprinkled the glaze, the red glaze over it, and I have a couple scoops of ice cream to go with it, and I have edible cherry blossom flowers on top.
Yum, that looks fabulous. So beautiful, and I definitely want to eat that as well. Cherry and chocolate is such a fabulous combination, and ice cream. Don't forget that. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you so much to you both. Okay, so we'll do one last round of voting, and then we're going to share our results. So this is going to be very exciting to see how everybody does. I know that it's a tough call, but it's always, you know, there has to be a winner. We have to decide. And let's see, we definitely want, at the end, we're going to put up everyone's contact information. We're definitely going to want to know how to reach out to the two of you. So what is the best way, while we're waiting for the results, what is the best way to pick up with you? Joanne, do you want to tell us first?
Sorry.
No, okay, wait, Mona, you tell us first while Joanne's getting back.
No problem. You can contact me on via Facebook or Instagram. That's MmmTreats, the 3 M's, Treats LLC. Both ways, MmmTreats LLC on my Facebook and Instagram, and if also my email address, MmmTreats, just MmmTreats@yahoo.com.
Awesome. Okay, that's good. And then let's see, Joanne, how can we contact you?
You can contact me at Miss Jo's Classique at gmail.com.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, you prepare your inboxes and your voicemails for some, lots of requests. And let's see. So Mona, do you do some posting on Instagram?
Yes, all the time. Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you usually post, do you pretty much do all the cakes that you send out? Awesome.
Yes, everything. Yes.
Everybody likes to see some pictures. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's a tough call for sure. Yeah. Oh, there's somebody named Cherry on our list, so they like the cherry blossom theme. All right, and the winner is, let's see who won. It's MmmTreats. Congratulations, Mona. All right.
Yes.
A round of applause for Mona. Excellent work. And another round of applause for Joanne. Awesome work on your side too.
Thank you. Thank you.
We clearly want to devour all of your cakes and treats. And I know that all of the people that joined us today and who will watch later will definitely want to contact you and have their own special treats made by you. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us, for all of your interaction in the chat. It's so cool to read all of your comments. We loved having you here. I do want to remind everybody that we have an Art Bites coming up on May 11th. And if you like seeing some strawberry related things here, I'll have a strawberry related dessert that I'm making this time. It's not a cake, but it is a dessert. And I think we all have strawberry on the brain because, they're about to just emerge. If we could go pick some ourselves or just have those fresh, local ones, that is just the best. So that Art Bites is coming up May 11th at 7 p.m. and you can watch that on all the different ways that great things from Newark's Museum of Art come to you. And Shirley, what else do we need to tell everybody?
Absolutely. Thank you everyone for joining us on today. We thank you to our pastry chefs, our dessert making experts. I learned a lot today. I really enjoyed watching the two of you work. I'm not a sweetie, but I would love to try what you guys made. It sounds very good. It looked very good. And we just thank everyone for joining us on today. If you like the programs that you are watching, please register for the next programs that are coming up. We do have a cherry blossom making activity that will be happening today at 2:30. So you can look into the chat. There is a link that you can sign up for it. And we're going to be making cherry blossoms out of paper. And later on today, there is a traditional Japanese tea ceremony that's going to be happening. So please register for the other two events that are happening today. And if you like the type of programming that the Newark Museum is presenting, there is going to be another link that's here. If you would like to donate to us so that we can continue to bring you free programs like this, please feel free to donate to the Newark Museum. We thank you so much for joining us. And please, please, please stay safe. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mona.
Thank you. You did an amazing job.